Hi Gemini, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's my pleasure to read for you. As you know, these readings are timeless and signless, so you need not have any significant Gemini placements in your natal chart for these messages to be for you. And you need not be watching at the time that I'm publishing it for these messages to be for you. If it resonates with you, then dun, 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 maybe it's for you. And if it doesn't, I would invite you to take a step back and then come back later, maybe a few hours or in a few days or whenever you feel called to, and see whether the messages make more sense, as maybe it's just not solid enough in your energy field and your environment for you to recognize them as yet. All right, if you'd like to work more personally with me on pretty much any issue, teaching, healing, motivating, you know exactly where to find me on my Etsy page, okay? Just follow the link that's on this page wherever you're watching. All right, let's jump in. Gemini, immediately I'm getting, interestingly, an Easter Bunny energy for you. And that is not a nod to any timing or any holidays or anything like that. I don't know why that's coming up, but it is for somebody else. Why did I say somebody else? I think in that one quick message, in that one quick moment, my conscious mind was like, is that message for me? Because sometimes these messages are for me. And oh my gosh, too funny. Anyway, I'm getting a really galactic energy coming in. There's that's all I can say about it. A galactic consciousness or energy that's coming in. It's wafting in, so to speak. So I just want to take a step aside for a second, because I know that I work with people who hold... people who tend to reach out to me for readings and healing services and all of that. Yay! Nice to meet you. They tend to have what I would call a service contract, and that is, you know, from this perspective here on this planet, many people would be like, oh, I'm a starseed, I'm a light worker, I'm an earth angel, I'm this, I'm that, I'm mission life entity, whatever it is, right? And yes, that's true. But I would like to address that group of people very quickly and remind you that we're all one, right? And so one of the things that you'll find, I think a mainstay, I'm still figuring out where I fit into this whole like awakening thing. And I feel like a task that I have is assisting others to bring clarity and a higher level of consciousness to what it is that they are perceiving on this planet. And of course we know that's all an inside job, right? So the idea is to, I guess, deprogram, let's put it that way, deprogram and bring you back into your sovereignty. Because a lot of people, you know, regardless of whether you identify or don't identify with any of those terms, or whether you don't even think about these things or whatever, it doesn't matter. What's in your soul contract as it's appearing when I view into your field and when you come to work with me, there's a contract for service. And a rose by any other name would be just as sweet. So I like to bring people into a higher space where they're not necessarily identifying, whether you want to say I'm Pleiadian, Arcturian, you know, Lyran, all of these things. Yeah, these are all very real and very pronounced, and yes, they have their paws all over. A pause, oh, that's so cute, did you hear? Oh my god, pause, yeah. Because, you know, some, you know, have pause. But anyway, so they have their identities. That's what they're like. Yes, that's our sign for you guys. 3 minutes 45 seconds, we're out here, right? And in here, right, a lot of you come from these star systems, you come from these lineages, is what I'm going to say, bloodlines, even if you want to go there. But I just, from where I am and what I am trying to accomplish and assist other people with doing, please don't use these spaces of identity in ways that will breed division. Because I know so many people in the Starseed community and the like I don't even know what to call it, the mission community, that carry this idea of I'm different from others, and we all have, you know, ego running through us down here. So that different is no longer about function, it becomes to you about quality. And look at this, boom. There's nobody, no being, no entity, no nothing that is better than the other. 4 minutes, 44 seconds. All right, so we're just trying to calibrate right here. So whoever you are, And by whatever walk of life, I just like genuflected, walk of life, you find yourself to this video, 4 minutes, 56 seconds, 4, 5, 6, showing the evolution of consciousness here. You're being asked to level yourself, okay? Now, what does it mean to level yourself? It means to look at who you think you are. A Course in Miracles reminds us, you don't know who you are. And I don't, not to say flippantly, I don't care, because I do read past lifetimes and I do these things, so I care. But I don't want you to give too much credence to all of this stuff. The same way that when you're viewing your past lives or parallel lives or whatever, if that's all discourse, you don't want to get stuck in the identity of those aspects of yourself. We already know that time and space is like relevant and all of that stuff. So see how shaky that is? So when you are not caught up in this idea, over caught up is what they're saying, in this idea of who am I? 5 minutes, 55 seconds, it frees you up to move into, what the hell am I doing? Not like that, but what am I doing? And notice it's not moving from who am I to what's my purpose. And you guys know I love A Course in Miracles, so I'm going to shout that text out a lot. But A Course in Miracles, which is a book about deprogramming that conscious mind, it reminds us you don't know who you are. You don't know what your purpose is. You don't understand what your purpose is. How can you, from your limited limited understanding of all that is, even if you come from Starseed territory, even if you're a seer, even if you're an oracle, even if you're level 16 Melchizedek, mage and, or archangel incarnate, it doesn't matter. You're here. And it means there is limitation in perception, period. And so, as the guides have said many times, how do we deal with this limitation in perception? Well, you adopt ideological flexibility. I'm seeing 7s all over this reading, by the way, okay? That's for somebody. Maybe you may identify with that. You see, you bring in an understanding of, and I'm not even going to say humility, because that in and of itself is so tapped into our socio-cultural programming over lifetimes, religious programming, all sorts of programming, that it renders the word, and words are generally meaningless, right? So the word isn't humility here. I'm going to say level yourself. You, as a sovereign being from wherever you hail, and a lot of you hail from different places. A lot of you have different skills. I'm seeing some of you time, you're very good with, time. I don't want to say time lording and stuff, but you've got skills in this community. There's no disputing. But one thing you have to look at and look for is the ego while you're down here. Ego, in so much, whether you want to call it ego or not, discourse altogether. If it creates separation and division between you and the communities you say that you're here to help, you're looking at it all wrong. Okay, now this doesn't mean to liquefy yourself and I'm nothing, and that's martyrdom, right? Since you're already here, it's like, come on. It's just understanding that I have a function, and I may not necessarily know the ins and outs of that function. I may have ideas of what that function is, what my service is, but you even don't know fully what that is. So if you don't know, see the don't knowing, it gives you a barometer to understand, where am I getting these ideas to tell me these things about myself? Are they true or are they not? And even if they are true, how much of it is balled up and interwoven with my ego, my need to be seen, my need to feel like I mean something, there's a lot of trauma in these communities, all of our communities, right? No matter who you are, where you are, that creates these unmet needs. And so a lot of you who need to see your name in lights, who need to see yourself with a certain set of letters after it, if you're learned, who needs to be from this star system, and who has that story about all of this stuff. Where is the desire coming from? These are motivations that are motivated by unmet needs. You can have these designations but not cling to them. right? So that's the discernment that's needed, because a lot of these ideas that we have about ourselves and about the world and about the people and the beings and the everything that are on this planet, God bless, and even about the planet itself, is rife with inconsistency. It's rife with ego, either from yourself or from other people that have informed you. A lot of you have shamans, you have gurus, you have this, you have that, you have religious clerics, you have whatever. You have family members, you have friends who, but we all love each other, but we don't, where are we at? Some of the people that you have advising you may not actually be fit to advise. And maybe in some cases they can be used by the spirit or the universe to bring you the information you need in that moment. And doesn't mean that in other moments they can, right? So you have to understand that it's not a call to be hypervigilant. It's a call to look inward and understand what your motivations are for having certain beliefs, to clinging to certain beliefs, and to having an appeal for certain things, certain thoughts, certain emotions, certain gut reactions. All of these things are informed by core beliefs. What are your beliefs? And one of the things that we have to understand, even in our community as light workers and this and that, is this concept of special relationships, right? A Course in Miracles reminds us there are no such things as special relationships. One person is not better than the other. In this lifetime, some of you hold the idea that your, for example, mother is more special than the local mailman. But that's easily, we zoom out, that's easily dispelled when we look at the lifetimes that you've shared with these two people. You may come to realize, actually, and in this lifetime, the mailman just wasn't playing this role, but that's your main person, right? So we don't know. It's all based on where your perceptions are, what your personality, your constructed personality, and that, by your soul before you came in, and then you're heavily impacted and conditioned, same personality as it goes through its life, mixed in with the impact of the aspects from past and from, the collective. You can't see what's up and what's down. And so when we live in a world like that, that's why it's important to cling to understanding the self. And that's a journey, because you can look outside to give you information about what's going on inside, but don't ever look outside to tell you who you are. That's just to show you who you're being in that moment, right? Who are you being? And if you take a snapshot of that one moment, what is the belief that you hold? If you, and this is for my lovely, Starseeds and everybody, right? If you hold a belief that the world is fractured and that people need saving, a lot of, our religious clerics and stuff, they have these ideas. That is the world that you will create. It's not create, you will make around yourself. You will constantly be serving and serving and serving and serving a community that needs to, right? And so that's something I look at for myself too. And even though I still create a lot of this information to kind of catch certain people at certain times, I notice my thoughts are evolving on the issue as well. As we do our inner work and as we shift our energies, we start to be able to see that even though at this level of experience, right, we are this physical level, we are experiencing, keyword, experiencing duality. You must always have that knowing, though, that duality is not what is, okay? At a higher level of the field, there's only one, and it's perfect, it's fine, it's just where it is, and blah, 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 blah. But down here, we do have functions, right? And so, yes, you do come in with soul contracts to assist in this manner. But please always remember, just as the therapist, we'll just say this, a licensed therapist using this example, cannot buy into the fragmentation that is being spoken and experienced and, shouted from the lungs of their patient. Somebody's got to be the objective party here, right? So if you carry a contract for service and you feel that you have a calling, remember to get in touch with yourself, watch that ego, hold yourself accountable, do your inner work, do your shadow work, so that you can remember and know what's reality, even as you work within illusion. I hope that makes sense. Okay, bye.